Hey everybody, Hogan with Loon Outdoors. Today we're going to tie a pretty simple yet effective trout spey caddis pattern. Tie it on a unique hook and maybe one that trout or trout spanglers are not familiar with. Let's get to tying. With any fly and kind of fly tying in general, one of the undercarriage of this fly is the SL45 bonefish hook, actually. And I discovered this hook for trout spey flies when a good friend of mine and Loon regular, John Fischetti, had me tie him some bonefish flies for a bonefish trip. And it's a beautifully shaped hook. It's nice and stout. It's got a straight eye. You can put a bead on it. For this fly, we're going to put just a 5/32 gold tungsten bead on it. But it looks great without a bead. Kind of one of those hooks I discovered in a very serendipitous way that really has nothing to do with the flies that I now tie on it. So we're going to start with olive 8/0 thread, basic caddis color. We're going to work that thread to about little short of the barb. Trim that off. I'm going to take a single strand of pearl flashabou. I'm going to take that and fold it over. Then take that and tie it in and work that thread over it down around that bend and work that thread back up to where I tied it in. I'm going to take this, and this is kind of a nod to classic steelhead, I guess, butts, if you want to call it that. Basically palm it around to give it basically a little flash tail, okay, in the sense of traditional steelhead flies, but something to kind of flash out the back, like a caddis kind of coming up to the surface or whatnot. But again, like with most of my trout spey flies, I figure the eat on this, tie that off, is probably more reactionary than anything. You know, if I'm swinging flies in the early spring or winter, the chance of a caddis this size coming off are pretty thin. So I'm going to take my bodkin, but a needle will work as well, and this is more just for security and kind of durability. I'm going to put a little dab of Flow UV cure on it, and again, less is more on this. And I'm just going to drop it right over that. And I mean, like, less is more. I'm going to hit it with the light. And this is just, for me, more of a durability factor. Kind of give it a look. What I do is when I feel it, this is kind of a tip, I feel it, and if I feel ridges from the flash, then I know I need to put more on. It's not sealed in there. I'm going to take the leftovers. I'm going to cut one, so now I have that. That's going to be my rib. Kind of secure that in there. Then I take some hairline squirrel hair, olive. I like a little brighter olive for this, you know. Doesn't have to be, if you know, whatever. Again, you can do tan, olive, whatever works for you. And I'm going to build this in a traditional kind of tapered pupa shape. Now you can make it as buggy or tight weave as you want. You know, again, it's the beauty of a lot of these trout spays, or you can really kind of make them what you want. You're not going to go all the way up to the bead. You want to leave a little space in there as you're going to put a collar on it and a few other things. And I palmer that Flashabou around to give it kind of a flash rib. Kind of work that thread back over. Right. Then next I'm going to give it a little loose spin of light olive SLF Prisma Dub. And it's going to be probably a little less than that. But I'm just going to set it, okay? And just do a loose wrap. And then pull it back and pin it. And that's just going to give it like a little, almost a little hot spot, a little hot collar. You know, sometimes if I want a little more, I'll just give it a little bit. Okay. Then it may be somewhat overkill, but you know, any good fly tyer likes to make flies a little overkill, a little ambitious, a little more to them than probably necessary. I'm going to take 2 goose biots, reverse tie them in, so the point's going to be facing forward. I'm going to trim that point very close. I'll take another one, put it on the other side. And length is not important because I'm going to show you we're going to cut these to a specific kind of eyeball length. And those actually look pretty good length, but what I like to do is come in and cut them at an angle just to look a little more like wing buds on a caddis. And like I said, that may be overkill. So at that point you have the undercarriage, or the kind of most of the body. One thing kind of I like to do is I'll take a short piece of that same Flashabou, tie it in, fold it over, and these are going to be antennas. I won't cut those until I'm all done, just to get the right length. Then soft hackle, going to be basic India hen. This is natural. You can use realistically whatever kind of works for you and color scheme you want to run with. Take 1 feather, okay, and I peel all of one side off. A little bit of the down, I like a little bugginess. Then I'll take that, tie in the tip. Again, obviously in this style, it's not going to create an incredibly buggy soft hackle. I'll take that, wrap it so that empty side lays down. Tie that. Trim the stem. Then I'll take just a little bit of black SLF. Give that a nice black head. Take that, tie it off. Trim the excess, then I'll take those antennas, trim them right a little bit right at the hook bend, just to give it a little flash. There you go. Nice little trout spey on a stout hook. Something that looks a little caddisy. Could probably even nymph it, you know, under an indicator, but that's Hogan Swingin Caddis.